Fallen Angel cocktail. Lemon, gin, bitters, and creme de menthe. That sounds awful. Who would want to drink? I'm so glad you didn't order this. This is a terrible drink. Let's get to some beer. Welcome back to the Brew View, where we're going to review some beers that you can enjoy while playing your favorite board game. Now today, we went off and got ourselves a fantasy-themed beer called the Dragon Lady. Now this is a Doppelbock. It comes to us from a brewery in Lithuania, and I'm going to mess this up. Rinkuškiai, maybe. I've had another beer from them before, a few months back. They do this sort of theme thing, and they like to make their fantasy-themed beers. So we're going to see how this pours, and see how it goes. So it's got a good caramel color to it. It's darker than I would have thought from a Doppelbock, I guess. Not much of a head. Doesn't seem to have a lot of carbonation. It's got a little bit there, but I poured that kind of aggressively, and that really didn't make too many bubbles there. But it looks good. That's a good color. I don't know if you guys can see that at home, but that's a pretty looking beer. Deep red, but again, not too much carbonation. Ooh, it's got a very sweet, very caramely smell to it. It's malty. There's almost no hops coming through this at all, so I'm expecting this to be pretty sweet. Well, let's see how it is. Cheers. Oh yeah, definitely caramel in there. It's pretty sweet. Says 9.7% alcohol on the label, but that sweetness pretty much masks all that alcohol, so you don't get a whole lot of that bitterness. You don't get a lot of the harshness from what would be a 10% beer would give you normally. You got to get pretty sweet or pretty hoppy to get that alcohol, so they definitely went the sweet route on this one. Like I said, it's malty. It's definitely malty and definitely caramel. Not much else flavor-wise going on there. It's sweet. Sweet is the word I have to use to describe this beer. It is not something you're probably going to be drinking a whole bunch of. This isn't a going fishing, drinking 10 beers kind of a beer. So this is probably an after dinner, sitting down, sipping it slow. Nice kind of like almost a dessert beer. If you were going to have a port wine and you wanted a beer instead, maybe a Dragon Lady there would work out for you. Scale 1 to 10, this is getting a 5.5 from me. Not terribly excited about it. It's not horrible. Like I said, it is just pretty sweet. So if somebody offered this to me, if I was at a party and it was sitting there, I'd have one. But I'm not going to go out and buy any more of this, and I'm not going to be serving this to my guests, I'll tell you that. It's probably better than the Fallen Angel, because that drink sounded terrible, but it's not much better, I don't think. But if you guys like really sweet beers, and you want to take your time drinking one, go ahead and get yourself a Dragon Lady from that brewery in Lithuania that I'm not going to try to butcher again. And that's it. If you guys got any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them down below. Let us know what you think. Any suggestions for some beers you want us to take a look at here on the Brew View, we'd love to hear about them. And until then, cheers.